What's going on, everybody? Back again with another update of my dividend investing portfolio. So if you've been following along, I've been away for about the last 2 weeks or so, but back at it again with another update. So to get started, I am a Canadian investor. If you don't know, basically for about the last 7 or 8 months or so, I've been documenting my journey with dividend investing in Canada and kind of tracking it with this spreadsheet, and also using Wealthsimple Trade to buy and sell stocks. But when we look at my account today, I'm sitting just under $16,000 in the portfolio. I'm up over 10%. I'm up almost 12%. So that's awesome. Most of that has come from the stock increase, the price of the stocks increasing, and 192 of that has come from dividends, which is great. If we look here at the April dividend payout, I got almost $70, which is huge. That's like $70 of passive income is really nice to see. That's almost twice what I got the previous month, which is great. If we actually zoom in a little bit on why that was so big, let's maybe jump into the dividends tab and come down here and take a look. So at the bottom here, we're looking at basically all of April right here. And you can see here specifically on April 15th, that was a huge day. If we just highlight this, $41 on April 15th in dividend payments. So a lot of these are paying quarterly, and some really big ones in here like AP.UN and PZA, at least big for me, because you can see that, in the summary, like this is the biggest month I've had yet. Of course, this is small pocket change for some people, but for me, this is significant. What else are we looking at here? I noticed here that the average yield right now is reporting 2.22%, and I know that that's below what it should be. So I was in here looking at the portfolio, trying to see why that was happening, and I noticed that there's a bunch of zeros. So if you are using this sheet, specifically if you're using version 3.3 of the sheet, because I know there are a lot of people with this version, you're probably going to be seeing errors right now. So I'm just going to take a second to quickly talk about this and how you can work through this. Nothing in the sheet has changed, but for some reason the import formulas aren't working. So if you scroll over, there's actually some hidden cells here, and what you can do is you can just click on that little arrow, and that's going to show you all of the hidden cells. These are just some formulas that I just hide normally so you don't have to look at them, but like just a lot of formatting stuff that changes the tickers from Google format to Yahoo and stuff, and ultimately so we can pull in information about the dividends. But you can see here that some of the dividends are working and some of them are not, and basically all of the formulas should be working properly, but we've got some issues here. I'm looking into this as to why some aren't working, but really I can't find out why. But I will continue to post an update if I do find out the error. But for now, it's not cool because we need to be able to see what the actual dividends are. Now, there's a really quick override that we can do, which I'm going to do in this video, and I recommend that you do it as well if you're experiencing the same issue. I made a full video on this. I'll put it up on the screen right now, and a link in the description below where you can watch the full video talking about all the steps, but otherwise I'm just going to run through it really quickly right now. So we just go into Yahoo Finance, and ultimately you just need to set up a portfolio with just the ticker and the forward annual dividend rate. Again, this is in the video that I linked in the description, but come in here, select these, select everything, up until there, copy, and we'll just jump back in to the Google Sheet, and you need to make sure that the list is in line with the way that this is organized. I have them in chronological order, but basically just make a new tab here. We're just going to be temporarily, paste this in, jump back to the portfolio, and take the list of tickers. If you have them in a different order, like in alphabetical or something, just make sure that they are matching up right now. But here what you can do is just quickly spot check that everything is in line, and if you're satisfied with everything being in line, which it is, for me, we come here, we select this, we're going to copy, that's Control C, and then come back to the portfolio, and up here in the annual dividend, again, making sure that we are in the same order, we're just going to drop in here, right click, paste special, and paste values only. Now, if that was too fast, again, just check out the video, watch the full thing in a little bit more detail. It goes through how to set up the list in Yahoo Finance and whatever. But now you'll notice here that these are just the values. These are current for right now, and for now, that's good enough for me. If you ever want to just go back, what you can do is you can override these again. You just come down to whatever cell is just below that you haven't touched, grab the corner, and then just drag it all up, and you're going to replace everything back with the original formulas. So you can try this again in a week or 2 weeks or something, once the formulas are working properly. But for now, we want to do that, and we want to double check what is actually the portfolio yield. And so for me, this is more like what I was expecting. It is actually 4.12%, which is super great. Actually, before, I think in the last update that I did, it was more like 4%, or just not quite as high. So this indicates that either some of the dividends increased or some of the stock prices fell. Let's take a look at that actually. We'll get into that in 1 second, because here when we look at the sectors, take a notice here that utilities is a really big sector for me. And then when we come into the portfolio, by the way, we can delete this tab now because we don't need it anymore. Yep. So in the portfolio, let's take a look at what we got here. We're seeing some red today, and let's actually maybe reorganize this to be by sector. I think will be a bit nicer to look at. Because here, when we look at utilities, these are basically where all of the red values are coming from. Brookfield is red for me, Algonquin Power is red for me, and then Northland Power, Boralex, and Interjex are all red. So massive values here. These guys were positive just like a few weeks ago, dropping like crazy, but utilities is my biggest sector, and while I do like to buy on red days, I think I'm going to hold off because they're still above 30%, and I'm trying to keep my utility sector like below 30 because like no one else has such an extreme like investment in utilities, it seems, except for me. So I want to kind of push that down a little bit. So I'm not actually going to be buying any of these today, but when we look at the spark lines, I was looking for some good trends, and I think what I'm going to do today, because I have about $300 to spend, is I'm going to put it into real estate, because here we are seeing still really good recovery options in real estate, specifically with HR Real Estate, which is a REIT. And then I was also looking at REI.UN as well. REI.UN 2 is climbing back up to like its previous glory, and I think I can capitalize in on just like making up the spread a little bit if it does fully recover. And also I'm looking here at AP Allied Properties.UN. These guys didn't have such a flat trajectory, they were climbing, and anyways, we still have a long way to go to catch up to where they previously were, and hope we can get back there. So I'm going to jump in on that as well. If you do look at some of the utility companies, for example, like I don't know, let's take a look at Interjex. You can see here they were like had a huge spike, and they are just dropping. We're still like basically right around the pre-pandemic levels here, but we're seeing like a big boost and then a decline. And if we look at basically any of these kind of renewable energy or utility companies, we're starting to see this huge spike and then a pullback. And this is going the same thing with these guys. And it's basically the same with everything. Even if you look at the ones that are still doing well, for something like TransAlta Renewables, we see the same spike and then this starting to pull back. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but I think just in case we do drop down a little bit more, I think personally for me, I'm more interested in putting my money into real estate where I can hopefully get back that recovery that's still going on, and then also start basically reducing that section of my pie because I don't want to just throw more and more money into utilities. So let's jump into Wealthsimple Trade, which is the broker that I use to buy and sell stocks. And if you're in Canada, super great option, definitely worth checking out. And there is a link in the description below if you'd like to try it, where you can also get $10 added to your account just basically for signing up and getting going. But what we can do here is just go straight into buying the stocks. So we're looking for HR.UN. So it's HR Real Estate. So for these guys, I think I have about $300. So I want to put in just about 100 into each of them. For these guys, I'm going to place in an order for 6 just at a market buy, so we'll just place that order. It's a little bit less than 100, but that's fine. It's close enough. The next one that I also want to pick up is REI, REI.UN, REI.UN. And with these guys, again, putting in about 100, so it's going to be about 5 for these for $105 approximately. So we'll just drop that in as a market buy as well. And then lastly, I do want to pick up AP.UN as well. And yeah, I think I'm just going to round this off. We've got $100 left, but with these guys, because they're actually quite expensive at $43 almost, I'm just going to take 2 and drop that in at a market buy as well. Okay, cool. So there's just a little bit of cash left, and I think that's good enough. So let's jump back into the Google Sheet and go log these transactions in the transactions tab. So I have this tab and I basically log every single buy and sell, and what I do in here is I just check in Wealthsimple Trade what the actual price was for a market buy that I actually paid, and make sure everything is in here correctly. And once that's all in, then I'll just come back to the summary page and just double check. I didn't actually look at what the dividend income was before, but right now we're sitting at $669, basically $670 per year. We can actually check what it was if we just go into the transactions tab and, for example, just delete what we have. So before the transactions, we were at 657, but we actually want to keep that. And now we're 670, so that's nice. That's like a $13 boost or something like that just to my annual passive income from dividends. And again, that's tax-free because this is all in my tax-free savings account, so that's really awesome. Can't wait to cross $700 and then eventually 800, 900, and crossing 1,000. That's going to be great. That'll be coming up in the next couple, I don't know, I guess months or so. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this spreadsheet, there's a link where you can get it in the description below. Also, if you're interested in trying Wealthsimple Trade, definitely give that a go as well. You can get a $10 bonus for signing up. And if you are already using the sheet and you're having any problems with it whatsoever, for example, like the dividend thing that wasn't quite working today, I don't know why, my email is in the welcome tab. So you can just send me an email at any time. Just let me know if you have any issues and I'll very happily help you out. I can explain to you like how to fix things if something goes wrong, or you can also basically just give me editor access for a little while and I can come in and help you fix your sheet, because I just want to make sure that everyone that's using the sheet is happy with it. So guys, if you like all that, drop a like on the video and definitely check out some of the others, and I will see you in the next one.